Hey there, and welcome back to the Nail Chronicle. This week I'm doing my very last Easter design for 2021, and I'm going to be using the layered stamping technique. So I'll start out and give you a bit of explanation of the layered stamping technique, some tips and tricks, and then I'll jump back and explain why I'm doing this one so late. So the layered stamping technique is essentially building up different layers of stamped images so that you can create a single image. It's the easiest way I can think of explaining it at the moment. So you see here I've just popped the white bunny on my nail. Yes, it does look a little bit green. The polish I use is probably not as opaque as it should have been. It wasn't a stamping polish, but it still looks like a bunny outline. The next step is then to add another layer over the top of that, and that's to create the outline. So this is what I'm doing here with the black polish, where I'm going to really carefully try and line it up with the base image that I've got so they get as close match as possible, and then just stamp it on really gently. Just make sure I don't distort the image or change it. You can get more complicated designs, so I've also got a fruit stamping plate, and if you've watched some of my other videos you'll see that one there where I've tried to stamp on some fruit, which on my first go it was a disaster. On my second go I kind of got it, and this is actually my third layer stamping attempt, and I think I'm finally getting the hang of it. So you can get more complicated designs like that, is my point. And some of those actually had 3 layers. I think one of them even had 4, and it just, for a beginner, it probably wasn't the best plate to start out with. So I would recommend trying to stick to 2 layers, just so you get the hang of matching things up and lining everything up, and then move on to the more complex plates. The other thing to keep in mind while using this technique is to make sure that you've planned out your colors ahead of time. So that includes the base color. Have an idea of what's going to work, or how you want to design it. So I've got like the carrot there with the orange, but maybe you want to create a different colored carrot. Maybe you want to have a blue carrot. You could do any color that you want, really. And then the other thing I found is just to take your time with it and practice it as much as possible. Particularly if you've never done this technique before, I would practice on a bit of paper or a swatch stick, whatever you've got on hand, just so you get the idea and the feel of it, and you get a bit of sense of what you've got to do and what works for you as well. And so that's pretty much the technique. On this one here that I've just stamped, the little present, it's not a layered stamp. It just happened that the pink just didn't quite show through. I thought it was going to be a bit brighter against the green, and it didn't quite work out, so I just put the black on there. You could still see some of the pink, and I did that on purpose just to make sure it was showing through. And for this one, you may be wondering, for the bunny that I've just stamped on, why I've done the same pink again. And the reason for that is actually when I put that black outline on there, you'll be able to really easily see the bunny, and I did get the idea from the present. So you can do those subtle colors that maybe don't on their own won't show up, but when they've got that outline on there, they show up really easily. And one just last general stamping technique with this Easter egg that I've just done. I did find if I went sideways or upways, it wouldn't stamp that well, but in terms of the scraping, but when I scraped downwards, it worked perfectly fine. So if you're ever having trouble picking up an image, try changing the direction that you're scraping in. So very lastly, I've got one more image to do, which is a really cute chicken, and I have left the best to last. This was my favorite out of the whole set. I love how it turned out. I could have just done a whole set of just cute little chickens, and never know, maybe I'll do that next year. I've got a year to plan this one out now. So anyway, I hope you like this design, and I hope you found this tutorial useful on layered stamping. Let me know if you've got any questions, or if you've got your own tips for layered stamping that you'd like to share. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you around. Bye!